Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hope everybody's okay. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today to share this wonderful information. This morning, I woke up and I told myself, you know, what can I do today to be more of service to everybody I come in contact with? I mean, I want to share my knowledge, the information that I am aware of that has changed my life and shifted over to a different perspective. The way you think, the way you feel, the way we live. The way we live. We live. We only live once, guys. We only live. Only got one shot at this, and life is so precious. And I want to welcome you guys to this wonderful study group, which is going to be 15 days of awareness. What do I mean by that is I'm going to I want to have you guys become aware of what this knowledge has done for me and how it has changed my life and how it could change yours. Just expressing my feelings, my thoughts to you guys out there. And if any of you can get a little grasp of this information that I show out there, I have accomplished what my goal was, and it's to basically share this information and to improve people's lives. Now, briefly, I'm looking at my notes here. Have you ever, feeling stuck in life and what's your purpose? What's your purpose in life? Did you know, or do you know, that if you ask anybody, what is your goal? And most likely they'll look up on you and say, what do you mean? And that's just, by asking anybody, hey, what's your goal in life? What do you mean? Some people might say, well, I want more money. I want financial independence. You'll get some individuals like that. And if you happen to find someone that happens to know what their goal in life, ask them if they have it in writing. And the odds are pretty close that they don't. You see, I have a goal card. This is my goal card. And I thrive for this goal every single day. And my mentor told me that if you get a goal card and you write it down, which I have, he guarantees that it must happen. And it will. It will, because this is my third goal card that I've written for myself. And the first two already have come true. So if it's happened to me, it can happen to you. You just have to you have to focus, set your mind to it, and it'll happen. It'll come true. Now, according to my mentor, there's three types of goals. There's A type, B type, and C type goals. Okay? And briefly on some key points that I wrote down here is, a goal is something that you're going after that you've never done before. Okay? A goal is designed to help you grow. Okay? It causes you to draw something from yourself that you didn't even know was there. If you know how to reach your goal, the goal is not going to do for you what goals are designed to do. Okay? If you're really going to accomplish something, you're going to need to be inspired by going after something that you really want in life, whether it be financial independence, whether it be the love of your life, whether it be health. Whatever that is, it's something inside of you that you really want, that you truly desire. That's the goal that I'm talking about. It has to come from inside. Now, the type A goal are something that you already know how to do. Guys, that's not a goal. It's not a goal. You already know how to do it. You're not growing. Okay? And that's type A. And then type B goals are goals that you think you can do it, or you think you know what has to be done to get there. That's not true inspiration. The goal that you want to go after, you want to set for yourself, are type C goals, according to my mentor. And the type C goals comes from your fantasies. They are originated through the effective use of your imagination. What you want, what you truly desire from the inside. Those are the goals that you have to write down. And guys, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of goals that you can think about, and that's a good thing. Write it down on a piece of paper. Write it all down. And then as you write them all down, let's say you wrote 10, right? out of those 10, if you really focus on, there's that real one that really stands out among the others, and that's your inside, that's your inner, your self talking to you, your body, because we're God's, highest form of creation. We're for fuller expression and fuller expansion. That's our spirit within us. We want to grow within, and you'll know that whatever goal you write down, that's the one that you really want, and then write that down on a card. And the reason why we write it down on the card, guys, is because we put it in our pockets. And it's a constant reminder that that's our purpose in life. That's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. And if you focus on that, remember, guys, we become what we think about. And whatever constantly is in our mind, okay, thoughts, it will come true. 2 of my goals already come true. I'm working on my 3rd one. If it's happened for me, it's going to happen for you. Now, sorry about that. I tend to go off course, and I just wanted to talk about goals today, and that was briefly. So we're going to go into the study on the science of getting rich, which is another book, phenomenal book that has truly inspired me, and I constantly study it. I study it because as I read it for the 6th time, the 7th time, the 8th time, the 9th time, I become more aware of what I didn't catch on the previous times. And that's the key to success, guys. Repetition. You have to study, because as you study, you become more aware. You become of understanding what the author has written, and as you become aware, you tend to think different. You tend to think different, and things come to you for the better. So let's go ahead and start. All right, we're going to go ahead and do Chapter 1, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Now, guys, these are 15 days of awareness, the study group. As we study, I will give my insights on what the author said, and also, things that just come to mind. And today my mind was goals, and I thought you guys should have a little bit of insight of what goals are. And if, guys, you don't have any goals, set a goal for yourself, guys. We only live once. You got to have a purpose and goals, whatever, that inner desire, that inner want that you have is going to make you move in that direction, and you're going to be, you're going to thank God that you did. Now, this book is pragmatical, not philosophical. A practical manual, not a treatise upon theories. It is intended for the men and women whose most pressing need is for money, okay, who wish to get rich first and philosophize afterward. It is for those who have so far found neither the time, the means, nor the opportunity to go deeply into the study of metaphysics, but who want results and who are willing to take the conclusions of science as a basis for action, without going into all the practices by which those conclusions were reached. It is expected that the reader will take the fundamental statements upon faith, just as he would take statements concerning a law of electrical action, and if they were promulgated by Marconi and Edison, and taking the statements upon faith, that he will prove their truth excuse me, by acting without fear or hesitation. Every man or woman who does this will certainly get rich. For the science herein applied is the exact science, and failure is impossible. For the benefit of whoever of those who wish to investigate philosophical theories and so secure of logical basis for faith, I will here cite certain authorities. The monistic theory of the universe, in theory that one is all, is that all is one, that one substance manifests itself as seemingly many elements of the material world, is of Hindu origin and has been gradually winning its way into the thought of Western world for 200 years. It is the foundation of the Oriental philosophies of those Descartes, Spinoza, Leibniz, Schopenhauer, Hegel, and Emerson. Now, the reader would dig to the philosophical foundations as advised, read Hegel and Emerson, and he will do well to read The Internal News, a very excellent pamphlet published by J.J. Brown, 300 Carthart Road, Governor Hill, Glasgow, Scotland. He may also find some help in a series of articles written by the author which were published in Nautilus during the spring of summer of 1909 under the title, What is the Truth? In writing this book, I have sacrificed all other considerations to plainness and simplicity of style so that all might understand. The plan of action laid down herein will deduce from the conclusions of philosophy. It has been thoroughly tested and bears the supreme test of practical experiment. It works. If you wish to know how the conclusions were arrived at, read the writings of the authors mentioned above, and if you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies and actual practice, read this book and do exactly what it tells you to do. Chapter 1, The Right to be Rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them with. Man develops in mind and soul and body by making the use of things, and society is so organized that man must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all advancement of man must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is development, and everything that lives in the inalienable right to all the development that is capable of attaining. Man's right to life means his right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things which may be necessary to his fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment, or in other words, his right to be rich. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or content with a little. No man ought to be satisfied with little if he is capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfoldment of life, and every man should have all that he can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. To be content with less is sinful. The man who owns all he wants for the living of all life he is capable of living is rich. The man who has not plenty of money can have all the wants. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires the great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. Every person naturally wants to become all that he is capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. We cannot help wanting to be all that we can be. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. You can become what you want to be only by making the use of things. You can have the free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. There is nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life. And that desire is praiseworthy. The man who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal, and so the man who does not desire to have money enough to buy all he wants is abnormal. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body, we live for the mind, and we live for the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. All are alike desirable, and no one of the three, body, mind, or soul, can live fully if either of the others is cut short of full life and expression. It is not right or noble to live only for the soul and deny the mind or the body. It is wrong to live for the intellect, which is the mind, and denying the body and soul. We are acquainted with the loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both mind and soul. And we see that real life means the complete expression of all that man can give forth through body, mind, and soul. Whatever you may say, no man can be really happy or satisfied unless his body is living fully in every function and unless the same is true of his mind and his soul. Wherever there is unexpressed possibility or function not performed, there is unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function-seeking performance. Man cannot live fully in the body without good food, comfortable clothing, and warm shelter, and without freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to his physical life. He cannot live fully in mind without books and time to study them, without the opportunity to travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, he must have intellectual recreations and must surround himself with all the objects of art and beauty he is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, man must have love, and love is denied expression by poverty. Man's highest happiness is found in the bestowal of the benefits of those he loves. Love finds its most natural and spontaneous expression is giving. In giving, the man who has nothing to give cannot fill his place as a husband or father, as a citizen or as a man. It is in the use of material things that man finds full life for his body, develops his mind, and unfolds his soul. It is therefore supreme importance to him that he should be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich, for it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are a derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and to humanity. For you can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. That's awesome, guys. I mean, that alone, that's awesome. And again, I'm sharing this information with you guys, again, to be of service and to make you aware of this information. And I really, really love this book. I really appreciate your time, guys. This was chapter 1 by Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. I briefly touched on goals. I hope this information was very informative. I hope it helps someone out there that's not aware of this. Guys, I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. Wherever you are in this, the part of the world, whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, we are blessed. We are alive. We're breathing. Totally grateful that I'm here today with you guys to share this information. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys again tomorrow on our second day of our daily study in the science of getting rich. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. See you tomorrow. Take care.